So, this looks different, right? This is the so-called wild beast event. And as soon as it triggers, you're taken to this screen here. And what I've done since last video is I did some shopping in town. Mainly I bought some magical items, all three kinds of magical items. And then I just took one step to the south, into the plains to the south of town, and this happened immediately. That's good. Um, I'll take you through this event now. You'll not notice a number of things here. Well, you have me, or we have ourselves in the middle, shown by this graphic, surrounded by wild beasts. um, the size of this area is always the same. Your goal is either to, well, destroy, kill all of these animals, or run off the edge, and that will get you away from them safely. You'll notice some numbers here. That is every individual beast's health. And then you have quite a lot of information out here to talk about, and of course the mechanics of this. Um, let's start with the basic mechanics. It says take action up here, and you'll notice that it says actions and moves. So actions, you always have at least one action and one move in this event, but for every third level in fighter skill, you get one more action, meaning, and as the maximum level is 10, you can get a maximum of 3 more moves, totaling 4. Oh, sorry, actions totaling 4. And the same goes for moves, but you will use the runner skill for that. So if you have level 9 or more in fighter and level 9 or more in runner, you can have 4 actions and 4 moves, which is phenomenal. And this is the only event or context in which you can use the bow and arrow. I don't have a bow and arrow here, sadly. But that's why you see arrows here. And it's only really meaningful if you are a good archer as well, because the archery lets you shoot further and with more accuracy, doing more damage. Fighter skill will allow you to shoot more arrows per round. And of course, so you could potentially off 4 of these in one go if you were a good fighter and archer. I don't have that option because I'm neither a good fighter nor a good archer, and I don't have any bow. But let's go from top now, top to bottom. It says R, throw rations. That means if I press the R button, I get the option of throwing some rations. Of course, my rations are listed here. And the beasts work in this way, that once I've taken my action and made my move, or actions and moves, it's their turn, and they will move first and take action later. They will run towards either me or rations, depending on which is closest to the specific beast. And once they reach either, they will bite it. If they reach a pile of rations, they will eat a maximum of 5 per beast. So I can throw different amounts of rations. If I throw a lot in a pile in one place, I will. If the beasts go there, they will be kept there by the rations until the rations run out. I can also drop rations if I'm surrounded, I can drop rations at my feet. Because the beasts will prefer rations over you or us, and so they will eat off the rations as long as there are any, rather than bite the player character. But if, of course, there are several beasts around you, everyone will take a bite of the rations until they run out, and then if there are still beasts who haven't performed their action yet, then then they will bite you instead. Now, every beast does about 30 or so damage on this level. everything that's dangerous gets stronger with every level you progress in the game. And my defense power, based on my armor and my fighting ability and my flexibility, is 17. So I'll be taking, I think, actually 14 damage, because I think the beasts do a little bit more than 30 damage here. And that's just one of them. If two of them attack me in the same round, then the second one will do more damage, because for every subsequent beast that attack you in the same round, uh, it does more damage, reflecting the fact that you're probably less able to move aside, once several beasts are hanging on to your limbs and such. This sounds rather gruesome, doesn't it? Happily, I have some other options too. Make a melee attack. Of course, I can't do that because they're not near me. And my attack power is just 10. I would have to punch one of these 6 times to get rid of it. By the time all of these other guys will have ripped me to shreds, most likely. So that's not really an option either way, and especially not as they're not within range. Melee attacks only work towards adjacent squares. Now these are relevant to my magical trinkets that I bought. I can use a shield chain to raise a magical barrier, which will show up as shield strength here. That's quite relevant. I can use a health stone to heal myself. I can use the fire ring to shoot a fireball, which is a lot of fun in this event. I think I've explained just about everything here now. I'll try to show off as many of these options as possible. Let's start by using the shield chain. So I'll press the S key here. Hello, yes. Yeah, that's a bit of a weird bug. Sometimes the option doesn't really appear. I pressed the S shield for shield chain, but this text didn't appear until I pressed a number key. So keep that in mind. Now, using the numbered keys 2 and 1, I can increase or decrease the focus charge. And I think I bought 4 charges for it. So let's see here if I increase that. Only 3. But I can use as many charges as I like every time. Let's do that. Now that will be multiplied by my intelligence and result in a shield strength of 30. I apparently have an intelligence of 10. Now I've taken my action. It's time to make my move. And then the beast will immediately move and attack if possible. I will move to the east here because there's only one beast there. Now, you will see that they moved several tiles. I would have been able to do that had I been a good runner, but I'm not. And then they made short work of my shield, but happily they didn't touch my health. So that shield did its job. And now it's my time to do something again. And I think I'll throw some rations in order to demonstrate how that works. Again, I pressed the R button, but nothing really happened. But pressing an arrow key here will move. I use the arrow keys to move this sort of golden crumb pile around. Those are my rations. But beware. Right now it says rations to toss 0. So if I pressed enter now, I would throw 0 rations and waste my action doing that. Also, this is a little bit bugged, so sometimes, especially if you only throw like 1 ration, it won't throw any ration at all, so be careful. I think I'll throw 20 or 30 even rations. You can see I used the number keys again. You can see what they do here to increase the amount of rations to toss. And I'll put them where I stand, actually, right there, and then I'll step 1 to the left. So pressing enter here, I should throw 30 rations there. There appears a number, that's the number of rations, and I'll move there. Now you will notice 2 things here has happened. Well, the beasts have moved further, though, and they've taken bites. Let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4 were adjacent to the rations. That would be 4 times 5, 5 rations for each of these 4 beasts. And so, yes, it decreased by 20 to 10. Unfortunately, actually, this guy probably... That's interesting. I thought he would chomp at the rations, but he didn't. He seems to have chomped at me. Oh, there's a possible glitch here. No, this guy didn't chomp at either me or the rations, seemingly. One of these 5 have not eaten, but only one of these 2 have attacked me. Likely this one, because it has no rations available. So, you see some of the bugs here. But it works overall. You can see my health has decreased by 14, as I predicted it would, more or less. Okay. And so my challenge is to make it off screen doing this, but I will use my fire ring to F for firing and increase that. Again, I had to press something to make it appear. I can only create a... Oh, right. So you can see an X appears on my character when I do that. I can not move that around, but I increase the power a bit. I can move it 1 square away from me using the arrow keys. And the X shows how much of an area it covers. If I increase that to 2, you can see it covers more of an area. And I can move it further away, 2 tiles from me in any direction. And I can increase it to 3. I can move it further now. So sort of every second time you increase the movement, or how far you can move it, throw it. And every other time you also increase the power, or the size of the blast, if you like. It's going to be quite efficient. This is not strong enough to be very efficient, but I can at least cover a few of these. It's not strong enough to take them out, I'm afraid, but it'll be interesting. Let's hope I survive this. It's also interesting to see if I take damage. I don't think I can harm myself with my own fireball, so let's put it right there. Go. And of course, like so. You can see these here have caught fire. They will gradually take damage. The fire will go out eventually, but they will take damage. I'm not sure I'll actually be able to defeat any of them, but they will have less health. So fireballs are more efficient if you have more magic. I just wanted to show it now. I move again and hope to survive. The fine thing is that as long as there are rations, even if it's just a few, because all the beasts move before any of them take any bites. Even if there's just 1 ration over here, any beast who's closer to those rations than to me will not go after me. So, you see, most of them remained in place. And only 1 took a bite out of me. Very good. And you see these guys' health diminished by very little, sadly. I do think that the closer to the center of the blast that a beast is, the stronger the fire will be on it. Anyway, I don't have any more fire charges nor shield charges. I could heal myself, but I think I prefer throwing rations from now on to try and keep them here. I'll throw 50 rations right there. Still taking damage from 1, but if I throw 20 right there where I stand and walk away, that was odd. It didn't... I threw 15 when I thought I would throw 20. Yeah, that's so odd. Look at that. It becomes 15. That's another bug. I suspect one of these guys is taking bites retroactively. It's buggy, but it's sort of working. and that's just the way the game is. I don't think I'll bother fixing this one. It's not big enough of a bug to fix. There we go. Now, I'm at the edge of the map, and I don't have to take an action. I can skip an action by pressing enter here and get to make my move, because as soon as I move off the map, I'm free. And thus, there I am. You can see I had 3 charges for each, but now I only have 3 for my health stone. So let's take this opportunity and show how you use it. If you press I, you can use a magic item. Now, beware, if you choose a magic item that says no charge, you will likely crash the game. But my Hellstone has some charges. I choose the one which has 3 charges. I don't think you can have more than one now, but at one point you could have more than in the past. The game allowed you to have more than one of each magical item. Back then it was supposed to be possible for the robbers to take your magical items too, you see. I'll use all 3. That should give me 3 times 10 health points back, getting me at 88. Hey, actually, I'll only spend one of those because I can camp out for the rest. So that should give me 10. Pressing enter here, and of course using the arrow keys to manipulate these menus. Yes, I regained 10 health points. And I press C to make camp, getting me back some, and of course spending some rations. I'll do that once more to get me back to full. And there I am. I'll save my game, and we'll continue in the next video.